So I'm really grateful that we get to collaborate. And through our collaborations of sharing, connecting around thought-provoking topics, we actually deepen our insights and move each other, because that's kind of the cool part. We move each other forward further and faster than we could ever do on our own. And it allows us to, and it has been allowing me, and I know it multiplies the impact when we do it together. So it's been allowing me to move forward, get wealthier, get richer in my relationships. So relationally, it's been allowing the same thing physically and spiritually and mentally, and even last on the bottom of the list, financially. And so as you share, as you comment, as you allow others to come into the conversation, and I know you're risking when you do it, it makes all the difference. And so I'm going to thank you for that. Today, somebody challenged me, and there's that word again, because if you've watched any of my other raw and reels, you're going to know that risking and challenging is something I do, and something I challenge and ask you to do, because it actually causes us all to grow. And if we're not growing, we're dying. I chose to sit outside today by the river, by the plants, and I'm hoping I'm not sitting near anything that is picky or that is poison ivy, because I did feel something on my leg that was not good a few minutes ago. And yeah, so I'm a little nervous, and I'm hopeful that being in nature just reminds me and reminds you, reminds us collectively about growth, about the purpose of our very lives. It's to grow. It is to grow and be there to help each other grow and really live incredible lives, doing what we're called to do, which is all about growth again. And so somebody asked me about a post that I've been doing every day for several months. I don't know how many months anymore, and it's a little tag. I should have brought some tags with me. I have them in my purse, but as I turned on the video, or I didn't turn it on, as I asked Lana to turn it on, wasn't even thinking that I needed to show you. And yet I'll somehow see if Lana can put a picture of the tag and even the jars that have the tags in them. I don't know how she'll do it, but I guess we can comment after we upload this so that you can see these pictures. And so basically I've been uploading a little tag. It's only this big most days, sorry, like that. And it has a little ribbon on it, and it's just white on the back side, and on the front side, which I occasionally show off the beautiful colors, they are beautiful different prints that glitter, and they're cardstock with pinks and blues, florals, stripes, dots. They're just lovely. And every day there's a new little tag that I post on my Facebook, which is how I've been doing up till now. And somebody said, where do you get those posts? Those little tags, like they look like custom tags, because the writing is the same on all of them. And I'll let you in on a little secret. There's 366 of them, which means it was something that was created on a leap year, right? Because otherwise it'd only be 365, because I suspect they wouldn't have thought of that we need 366, because it only happens every 4 years. And so he said, where do you get them? Who made them? Like, what's the process? Like, how do you get your hands on them? And I said, well, actually, it was a precious gift from an incredible friend for my birthday about a year ago. Almost a year ago now. She made me 366 custom tags with sentiments about our life together. Whether it was an experience, a shared experience, a thing we'd like to do, a thing we may never do and yet we kind of think would be fun to do, or whether it's a spiritual inspiration, something that we've talked about and something that we know to be true, whether it's just a reminder of something that I ought to remember. So every day it's anywhere from 3 to 6, 7 words mostly, and then there's a handful that are this big. There's maybe 10 or 12 big tags, and so I've been sharing those occasionally because they were used inside the jar to hide the words on the others, because the trick is I wasn't supposed to see them until I pulled one. So the idea is every single morning I take a tag. And I did that selfishly, actually. I'm going to admit that out loud. Myself, for days. Well, actually, not for days, not even for weeks, for months. And then it kept it being impressed upon me, and once in a while I was obedient, that I ought to share it, because I don't think they were just for me. And so I would sparingly and almost begrudgingly share, because it was like I was letting you even deeper into me. Even if you didn't know where the tags came from, I knew where the tags came from, and I knew that they were to speak to my heart from my really, really awesome friend. And we've just celebrated, I think, just over 25 years of friendship. And she's not on Facebook, and so that's the only reason I won't and haven't said her name. Her kids are, so I will tag them occasionally so that they can pass on the message to Mom. And selfishly, I kept them to myself. And then occasionally, grudgingly almost at first, I would risk sharing one with you. And then finally, and I don't know exactly when it was, I was brave. I decided I was no longer going to be selfish in this area, that I'd had lots of comments the few times that I had shared one. Maybe not even comments on Facebook. Maybe it was when I ran into somebody, or maybe it was a private email or a private Facebook message where they said, that just spoke to my heart today. That just made all the difference for me today. So I did the right thing this time, and that was to start sharing them every day. So sometimes it's later in the day. Most of the time I started sort of around 7 was the goal, and then some mornings I'm actually reading it before that, because most of you know I'm preferably a 5 o'clock girl, so I start sharing them when I take the picture of it. So I take a picture. Most of the time I'll think of a question that I'm asking myself related to what's on the tag. Sometimes it's just a statement, because a question just isn't coming forth. So if it doesn't come, I'm not going to force it. It is an enjoyable, relaxing experience, and one that makes my heart sing. And so I knew that I was supposed to do the same for you. So if you love them, share them, let me know, because then I'll keep doing it. The goal is that as I move through the 366 from last year to this year, then I'm just going to flip it around and start all over again. So next year will be a smorgasbord once again. You won't know which tag which day. There's a few that I'm sure are the same as other tags, or very similar, because it's like I've been there before. So I think that, but I'm not sure, because I've never lined them up, and something is absolutely digging into my legs. So that is awesome. I'm going to remember this day for a long time. So which tag has had the biggest impact on you? And if you have no idea of what I'm talking about, all you need to do is send yourself and your friends to my Facebook page. And you know, I did a strange thing. When I went into the real estate industry, I felt that although my name is spelled J-E-T-T-E, not J-E-T-T-A, I think that's the car. I'm not the car, although I was called as a kid Jumbo Jet, because I was fast like a jet. So J-E-T-T-E is my legal name. And so when I did my Facebook, I thought, well, there's people that know me as that, and the vast majority of people know me as Y-E-T-T-A, because foolish little me, when I went into real estate, well, I'm going to say I think it's foolish. I don't even know if it was a good idea or bad idea all these 30 years later, is that if I spelled it J-E-T-T-E, people would call me Jetty. And I just wasn't convinced that I wanted that. So I changed the spelling to Y-E-T-T-A, and so now most people spell it J-E-T-T-A, which just makes me crazy, because that's like not either of my choices. That's like a something else. So Y-E-T-T-A, and so on my Facebook, I put both names. Kept with the Decker. I didn't throw the maiden name in there to confuse people even further. I thought let's minimize the confusion. So if you want these daily tags, then friend me. Or can you like me on my on my personal page? Do what you need to do so that we can grow together, be inspired together, because that's what these little tags have been doing. So thank you, my friend Tom, actually, who asked me most recently about where did these amazing custom tags come from. Thank you.